In this video, we're going to showcase 6 custom home improvement projects from the MakerPipe community. These are all wildly different and unique, but they have one thing in common, and that's the fact that they're made with off-the-shelf EMT conduit and MakerPipe connectors. And we're going to go through and check out these awesome ideas, and we're going to get some inspiration, and you can hopefully use them if you're making, the exact build or a similar idea, or if you just want to take a design element and utilize it in whatever it is that you are making. If it's not these builds, hopefully you can do that, and we're just going to check out some different things. So let's jump in and check out the first build, which is this entryway awning from Rita. It's really fantastic, and I think a really useful build for a lot of people. And this is a pretty simple project overall, and it's just a nice cover to add some protection over the front like patio or door of a shed or garage or even a home, because if it's raining and you're trying to put your key in the door, it really stinks when you've got rain coming down on you. So this is a nice just addition to kind of keep that from happening, or at least help a bunch. And this is pretty simple overall. I'm going to do a build breakdown and kind of highlight some of the techniques and stuff later this week, so be sure to be on the lookout for that and subscribe to the channel. But pretty much just a few connectors like the T connector, the adjustable angle flange, and some one-hole straps being used to secure the wood boards to the frame. And this is a pretty good technique. I think can be useful for a lot of different things, not just this project, where you actually build a metal frame with conduit and connectors, and then you use wood to kind of add some framing, which allows you to mount other things like the roofing panels that Rita has on top. So that's a good technique you can keep in mind, but this is just a great idea all around. And this utilizes 1/2 inch EMT conduit, which is a little bit more cost effective than 3/4 inch, and is pretty strong for situations like this. You can use those two different sizes. Just kind of depends on what the load of the project is. We've even seen people do part of it 3/4 inch, part of it 1/2 inch, or even larger sizes like 1 inch. Just kind of use it strategically to save money but still get the support you need. But all in all, this is a really good idea, and like I said, we'll break it down further this week, so be on the lookout for that. But this is a really great project. Thanks so much for sharing it. Next up is a window well cover that was put together by Al, and this is really cool. He's got pretty much a basement with some windows, and he's got the window wells here, but he wanted to add a cover over top of it, probably to keep cats out or other animals, and just kind of keep them from getting down in there, and probably rain and things like that too, or snow piling up. This is just a good simple cover that goes over top of the window well here, and so we can kind of look at this really quickly and see some of the design elements. It looks like he actually bent some EMT conduit to kind of match the shape of the well, which is pretty complex of a bend to accomplish, but it looks really good and really well done. And we can see here, it looks like in the back, he's using the MakerPipe adjustable angle hinge connector just to kind of grab on to this cross piece that's going from one side to the other. So that's pretty cool, as we can see there, going all the way across. And then I think the same thing in the middle here. Actually, I don't know if it's connected on this front piece here on the sides. I don't think it is. I think what's actually happening is there is a T connector grabbing onto the front and rear of the frame, and then that is adding a piece of conduit from the front to the back. And then he's using a 180-degree connector to kind of add these cross supports from one side of the frame to the other from the center there. And so that's a really simple metal framework that he's using. Then he just got some clear plastic that he's bolted to the framework. Looks like just some self-drilling screws. Looks like some weather sealed screws going into the through the plastic and into the frame. And I think that's working out really well, as we can see there, and no pun intended. That's really cool, and a really simple framework overall, but looks like it's working out great. And he said that he made multiple of these, probably has a few of these in the backyard or on the side of the house. So that's a really good project that you can do if you've got these window wells and want to add a cover and don't want to spend too much money. So that's really cool. Thanks so much for sharing that. Next up is an air fryer or toaster oven cart that was put together by Kimberly. This is really cool. It's just a really simple kind of kitchen cart that was put together with some wood and EMT conduit, and then it's really compact. You can see here it's made specifically for this air fryer and toaster oven here, and it just sits really nicely on top. It got a thick piece of wood on there, and I like the way that they actually put this together, which is utilizing the MakerPipe flanges to bolt the frame to the underside of the piece of wood there. And they've got these vertical pieces of conduit going all the way down, and then they're using 90-degree connectors to create these rectangular shelves about halfway down the frame and then at the very bottom of the frame, and they can use that for storage. And then they even have casters on the very bottom of this, and it just allows them to roll this cart around really easily. And it works really well, and it can be rolled out of the way into a closet or out whenever you need to use it. And it's really simple, and they've got some pieces of wood there, and I think they're working on some upgrades. They're adding some drawers to this cart, which will be really cool. And it's just a a really great cart to kind of save space and, keep from having to, lug this cart from underneath the counter in the cabinet and pull it out and put it on the counter, or keep it, in the pantry or something like that. You can just roll this out of the way. Looks like they're even rolling it into like a separate area, which could be useful for you if you've got, limited space and you don't need this big thing on top of your counters or, underneath taking up space. Just build this cart and, you can make it look good and have it where it's a part of the kitchen and have it where you can move it around wherever you need it. So that's really cool. Really great idea from Kimberly. Thanks so much for sharing it. Next up is a really simple compost bin that was put together by Two Tool Designs. And this is a great thing you can put outside your back door or outside the window if you want to, compost some different things for your garden. And so essentially here it's a pretty simple framework. It's just MakerPipe 90-degree connectors, just 8 of them in total to make this really simple box. Has an open bottom, and then pretty much just use some hardware cloth secured to the frame with some self-drilling screws, and that is just holding that hardware cloth in place on the outside, and pretty much just creates this metal basket that you can do some composting in. Not too expensive, not too complicated to create, and just a really great solution for composting. And like I said, it can be a big help in your garden, and just makes it really easy to do some compost. So that's really cool. Thanks so much to Two Tool Designs for sharing this. Definitely check out his Instagram and his cool projects. Next up is a really cool solar panel system that was put together by Alan, and this is a really elaborate and a really cool system that he shared, and he actually posted a full PDF write-up of how to put this together if you're interested, so definitely check that out if you want to make something exactly like this. Really cool, and appreciate him doing that. But as we've seen, utilizes the EMT conduit and connectors, and he actually combined this with a rack system for solar panels, as we can see here. So the metal frame just kind of supports these brackets that the solar panels are made to mount to, and it has all those cross supports and everything like that, and it looks like it's working really well and has a nice angle to it. So it's on top of the roof, as we can see, and it's got a full setup, and it's just working really awesome, and it's a really great design and really elaborate. Like I said, a lot of connections and a lot of pieces of conduit, but working really well. Looks good, and just a great idea if you need a rooftop solar panel system. And I guess you could do a ground mount in the similar way. So definitely check out his write-up and learn more about this. But a lot of good ideas in this one, and really appreciate you sharing it. Next up is a really cool entryway mirror that was put together by Easy Work on Instagram, and I like this one because they use MakerPipe crossover clamps to kind of have these pieces of conduit intersect each other without actually needing connectors, and so they have those painted orange, as we can see here, and that's really cool. Kind of makes this H-frame design. I guess it's not an H because there's 2 horizontal bars, but really cool. Kind of it looks like a grid system, and then on the end of those they actually use the MakerPipe threaded pipe inserts hammered into the end, and they got some of these like threaded ball end that looks like some chair legs, and those are actually made to extend in and out and adjust the frame so they can actually have it kind of tighten in this space here, because you can see it's touching the walls on each side and the ceiling and the floor, and so that allows them to pretty much adjust that and have it sit tight in this entryway, which is really clever and really cool. And it was meant to be no fasteners, so it's just those crossover clamps, and then so it's not secured to the wall in any way. It just has those balls on the end that can adjust and tighten it in place. But that's really cool, really creative. I wish I knew where they got those, because we love the threaded pipe inserts, and I think those are a great accessory. So if you know where they got those, or if you're watching and want to let us know, that would be cool. But hopefully you guys got some ideas and inspiration from this video. There's a lot of different projects in the MakerPipe community. You can check that out, and I'll be sure to link these down below if you want to check any of them out in more detail. But thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.